So I was requested to do a review on this video, and to be honest with you, after the Cade Games incident, all of them, there really could not be a worse tier list made, so Kandaya only stands to benefit from this. Okay. This is for PvE. Detailed early, mid, end game, and Black Shrine. It's literally everything. It's literally, I'll link the video right here. Okay. All right, let's review Kandaya.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I hope everything's okay in your life in this week. So what is this way like? I'm preparing a Google survey with a simple questions as you see on the screen and sending it to about 100 classmasters. They fill out the form and send feedback to me. In this way, more consistent data can be collected from the classmasters.
Okay, so if you don't understand what's going on here, what he did is he sent out a survey to all the best players on their classes in the game. On, like, you know, how they felt their class was in PvE. And this is actually properly how you're supposed to do it, tier list. I agree.
I tried to send the survey more than one classmaster for each class and determine the evaluation of the classes as average. We can say that.
Holy shit. Thanks to the class masters. Okay, well, look at that. It said Sluzzy, Divius, Ravo, Nintara, Wutaru, Strega, Proficient, Fonda, Zach, Lua, Sneaky, Utito, Choice, Kindra, Ayama. I didn't make the list. That's rough. I don't even see Belly on this list. Who was the master for which? Yeah, Belly's not here either. Wait, who are the witch players?
PA is doing positive work.
These rates on the left have been prepared with the average of gaming performance in mind. Oh my god. All right, Kandaya, you're putting too much stuff on the screen. This is too much. I also don't... Oh, my goodness. All right. I also... Let me change this back. I don't like it when we have 3 S tiers. We have SS plus, SS, S plus, S plus, S, SS minus, SS minus, S minus. This way we don't piss off anybody. I agree. That way no one can be pissed off.
Yeah, you can see that the performances...
But like, this is fine. Like, this is fine. I love the way that he laid this out. He actually did the due diligence of interviewing people that are good at their class. Even though if it wasn't me.
Most classes are in general A+ and above values. This shows that the PvE and PvP updates they make every week are going positively. I hope they continue updates like this and manage to rise the bad classes. If you wish, let's examine the layouts from the page of Musa class so you can understand better. On the left, you see the values for Succession and Awakening. It shows the rate out of 10. At top right are the names of the class.
Alright, this is true. Yeah. My boy Ronald J got done dirty. But that's fine. No big deal. We're gonna have to... Honestly, he's got so much text on the screen. It's actually really hard to... Oh my god, it's hard to... What do you want me to do? Honestly, I'm just gonna stay down here. I don't... Unless you want me to put myself in the middle, bros.
Masters who made the evaluation. In the lower right part, there are general thoughts of the class masters. Not every class master has made his thoughts clear. I have added the thoughts of those who have stated as much as I can.
Man, dude, relax, man. What's going on? Why are you so mad? I understand we're the first person that has ever actually dropped on your node willingly like that, but you gotta relax, dude. Gotta chill out, man.
So what are these early mid, and end game values. What are they? Early game means low AP zones, one-shot type spots like Gahaz, Centaur, Poly, Sulfur, and etc. Mid game, crowded density mobs. Mostly you need pool aggro mobs. Mid game spots like Cycrea, Starzend, Istria, Aklan,
so far so good.
Thornwood, Orc, Bloody Monastery, and etc. Endgame spots mostly
Kandai
need
actually
high
knows
AP and infinite DPS.
What I like about this, Kandai actually knows about the game.
Combo or special type of combo to kill mobs. They have generally high HP pool and high DP, like Gryphon, Hexa, Troll, Olun, Crypt, Ash Forest, and etc.
Blood pressure out the ceiling. I know he's got to chill out.
Performance of the class while doing boss blitz or boss rush, whatever you say. I want to add something related with this tier list. I would like to talk about a mini-series that I prepared especially for new and returnee players.
You interviewed J-Kun for which? How long ago was that? Was that like 3 years ago, bro? You gotta interview someone new.
The thumbnails you see on the screen show interviews with the...
These are good videos. I'm gonna be honest, these are really good videos. I've seen some of them. If you like different classes in the game, these are like all the best players on this particular class. That they're a little outdated, but like, yeah, they still work.
Classes in the game. These interviews explains the general structure of the
Big Bad Tortoise for Archer. Did he do that? Where's Archer? Oh yeah, it is Torty.
Classes and their role in the game. Interviews where you can find answers
Listen to them
all
like a
simple
podcast,
questions
exactly.
in your mind. Please note that these interviews are not detailed class guides. You can find the link in the pinned comment section or top right. I want to thank all classmasters who have contributed their effort. On the other hand, the preparations of this and similar videos takes
he
quite a
keeps
long
thinking
time.
the classmasters and it's just a slap in the face, honestly.
Like approximately 50 work hours, the active hour. In other words, we can say that I did 16 hours of analysis and graphic preparations almost. It's completely free to pay my hard work. I would be very happy if you pause the video right now, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also share this video on your Discord servers. It is a free process for you, but it means a lot to me. Do not
I mean, it's a good video. That's why we're giving it circulation.
Share your thoughts in the comment section. Please do not...
You'll make the Ass Blasters tier list. True.
Disrespectful to classmasters, to this content,
Best
and especially
anus.
to each other. I hope
you know
guys like my content. Do
Everyone's
not forget,
been in here, so they
just
know.
A game. Have a nice game.
Oh boy. We used Hamzy. Is there no more audio? It's just, this is it? You just put the graphic on the screen and let us read it? We hate reading. Oh, we hate reading. Oh God, we'll just hit R. People just hit R and go through this. What do you mean? Difficulty hard, succession difficulty easy. He's got this right so far. I'll move my webcam over so you guys can see the graphics a little bit better. Honestly, these are all correct numbers, though. All of these are bang on accurate. I'm not going to get on him for this. All right, Hamzy said both specs are similar. I can't believe he got a serious word out of Hamzy's mouth. I can't even believe that Hamzy even, like, he actually, like, Hamzy's never said anything serious to me. He's always trolling me. Both specs are similar. Succession is a bit easier for early game spots, but it has some stamina issues. That's absolutely right. If you with proficient with Awakening or Succession, they are great grinders at every level of grinding in the game. They are. There's all around good grinders. Ziridan Goldstein refusing the comment. Ruko P and Harry Dawns. Hey girl, hey. Thanks, I suppose. Succession is the more accessible of the two specs. And it's great for new warriors or veterans looking to practice warrior fundamentals. It has cookie cutter combos, play that is straightforward with no frills. Awakening remains the more exciting and flashy build with a variety of abilities and combos for various situations. Both are very resilient on good positioning and frontal guard damage mitigation. Absolutely correct statements for warrior. Oh my God. Look how long the, oh my God. It's... My boy wrote a novel, man. I'm 31, B-Wiz. I'm 31. Holy crap. Shimko, Salem, Screw. I'll be honest with you. I don't know these two players. I do not know these two, but I know Shimko is really good. No editing or paraphrasing. It's just a block of text. That's why we all love going home and just reading the Bible verbatim. We love reading. Succession relies on frontals, whereas Awakening uses more super armors. Zones that deal a lot of damage are dealt with better in Succession, and if you can avoid damage using an iframe or moving away from the Awakening's SA, won't be a downside. That's absolutely true. I say that in my Choose Your Class Guide Sorc videos. I'm just gonna, guys, I typed all of these things out. I mean, I said all this stuff in my Choose Your Class Guide, just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. You don't have to read. Sorc has high APM, but is a lot less punishing than Awakening due to its massive amount of frontal guard skills and HP regen on a few skills. High is an entry skill floor, meaning it will probably take a while to start getting competitive numbers compared to the 10 out of 10s. Oh, you means the easier classes. Awaken, same thing, high APM, more dangerous to grind with due to the majority SA skills with little frontal guard. Okay, we get it. We get it. Succession has more frontal guards. Early game spots, she suffers from mobility. That's why it's such a low ranking here. Awakening, definitely a little bit. Honestly, early game, I didn't realize Awakening was just this much better in early game spots. That's kind of surprising to me. Like, early game spots are all about mobility. I don't feel like Succession has much worse mobility, but there might be something there I don't know about. That being said, we've already seen everything to do with Sorc, so we're going to move on to Ranger. Okay, so Rylock and Flannels apparently failed to comment. People tend to look at Succession and Awakening Rangers two completely different classes. That's not true. Cade Games says that they're exactly the same, as they operate so differently from each other. I think the player base needs to understand that the spec is just one half of the same coin. But Awakening and Succession complement each other's weaknesses in a lot of ways. In terms of strictly PvE potential, Succession is very easy to kill weaker mobs. It's very easy to kill weaker mobs on, and does very well on the mid-game spot that you can simply blast down with Descending Current or Prime Ultimate Blasting Gust. Awakening has a much higher trash potential if played optimally in spots like Gryphon, but playing at that level can be incredibly tiresome on the player. Find the spec you like to remember that find the spec you like and remember that it's not about what's the most optimal, but rather what's most fun to you. That was very well said and concise. I liked it. I liked it. Early game 9 out of 10. I think that's a little high compared to like Musa, right? Like saying that it's a 9 out of 10 and Musa is 10 out of 10 is a little rough. I think the rest of those look good. All Flannels did was complain about his stamina. Kandaya didn't know what to say about that. I mean, I asked Flannels the same question, and Flannels gave me a very detailed response. So, like, I had a different... Flannels helped me make my Choose Your Class Ranger guide. Oh, I didn't know Kandaya played Zerker. Okay, right on. Kandaya quoting himself. I like it. Angel of Soul, thanks for that follow, buddy. I really appreciate it. For Succession, one of the best classes for newbies and returnees. Berserker is one of the easiest classes in the game. For early game stage, you can just abuse the spammable skills and infinite movements with no stamina pressure at all. For mid-game stage, you can have a problem without you can have problems with pulling mobs because you don't have infinite pull skills. Only this part might be a little bit of an issue for newbies. But don't worry, even early game spots have high income. You can spam Centaurs until 700 gear score XD, period. For endgame part classes, again, extremely easy, especially if you have no accuracy problem. The only thing that you have to care is crit rate. You should keep your crit buff up at all times and feel it's the highest DPS in the game. Okay, well, that's true. For Awakening. Awakening Berserker is not good class for newbies. Generally, we need experience to play the class. That is true. Whereas Succession could be played by someone with a blindfold on and a controller, Awakening definitely requires more effort. Generally, you need experience when play this class. You can have average numbers when you learn everything about the game and the class. That's why I define very hard for difficulty. Oh, there's a spelling error, but you guys can't see it. It's okay, I hit it. If you can handle him, you can get pretty decent results. But people mostly choose Succession for PvE. Yeah, that's true, because it's just way easier. Yeah, I mean, Awakening is not bad in PvE. Awakening is not by any means bad in PvE. All right, I'm going to put you guys on my head, okay? There you go. It's not at all bad. but like it requires way more effort. And so like Witch, for example, Suck Witch is not particularly bad in PvE. It's just so much more work that why bother? All right. Okay. Tamer, Sneaky. You'll notice there's only one reference for Tamer because nobody plays Tamer. Early game, 7 out of 10. Yeah, sure. Mid game, honestly, maybe even a little bit higher, but like, what was that about Witch? Succession Witch is actually pretty solid in PvE, but it requires so much work and effort that people just say, fuck it, we're going to play Awakening because Awakening is not only better, but it is lower APM. Like, why would you ever play Succession? I don't know about 10 out of 10 for early game when Valk and Zerk exist. Yeah, Awakening 10 out of 10 is a bit of a stretch here. I think that that's a little bit of a stretch. You're like comparing its movement to Musa, and I don't feel that you can do that. I've played Tamer, both specs. Yeah, it's pretty good, but like I wouldn't say that it's 10 out of 10. But like, hey, what do I know? These are the pros. So you know, what are you gonna say? Sneaky said, thanks to Awakening's mobility, she can do good at early game and mid game spots where you need a constant mobility. For Black Shrine, you can deal good burst damage and Succession, or with Succession, and also can reposition yourself easily. Thanks to the infinite combo, you can deal nice damage with Succession. On the other hand, Tamer is definitely one of the best group content classes. Okay, that today I learned. Thanks to her crit rate buff, 60%, she can give insane damage potential to her teammates. Oh yeah, I did forget about that. Yeah, the absorb is pretty good. He's not wrong. See, this is why you talk to the professionals, because stupid people like me will forget stuff like that. Yeah, okay, all right, that's fair. I liked it. Would you consider the ranges? You mean the Rangers? What would you consider Rangers for early, mid, and end game gear scores? I'm not sure what that question is asking me, Ezria. Oh, what would you consider the ranges for early, mid, and end game gear scores? Early game gear score is anywhere between like 0 to 630 gear score. Mid game gear score is like 630 to like 680. And end game gear score is like 680 to like 760.
Solon commented, Archer very good class to hurt enemies while keeping yourself safe abusing render distance. Awakening Archer falls over to anything looking at you, but Melee Archer can challenge even the best melee classes in close range combat with a flurry of kicks and punch.
He's playing Melee Archer. That's one of our top fraggers right there. Wait, didn't he already do Musa? Didn't he? I could have sworn we already saw Musa. Wait, how in the hell did Awakening Musa not get a 10 out of 10 for early game? What happened here? What? Ranger got a 9 out of 10 and we got Musa sitting down at a 9.5? I can see Succession. It's kind of garbage. I'm just kidding. This is crazy. It's really easy. Succession, hard. I think that that's a bit of a stretch. I think that it can be difficult. I'd say it's medium compared to the other classes. I would not say that Suck Musa is like, okay, oh, it's Awakening Valk hard to pick up, or it's a Suck Ninja hard to pick up. You know what I mean? Like I like saying that Suck. It's hard because it does require a decent amount of APM. I'm curious what Azure said about it. For Musa, Awakening will be your best bet in terms of early game and branching into the mid game. Awakening Musa falls off a bit in damage as it goes to the mid game because most higher end spots require more sustained high DPS. Yeah, that's what I tried to say. Man, I said that during the last Musa VOD. Awakening does not have this. And in exchange, we have slightly better protections and bigger AoEs. Succession starts to be superior around mid to late game and toward and upward for PvE specifically. Though Awakening isn't far behind in terms of trash potential per hour, varying based on the spot, Succession at the higher end spot will be about 5 to 10% better. I'd argue it's even better than that, but like, all that in mind, play whatever you feel is fun. That is true. Both are competitive and very comparable. PvP is a different story. True. Azure, he's the expert on Succession, Musa. Counter Florid CS with a brand new Prime sub. Thanks so much, Vlad. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the squadron. Welcome, welcome. For Succession, making sure that you study the Serene Mind skill, otherwise known as blue buff, is the key to this class. The uniqueness of this ability allows specific skills to be used during cooldown, which can provide consistent burst damage in both PvP and PvE. It's also the reason that its APM is really, really high compared to its Awakening counterpart. Honestly, I can just skip to the next... I can just skip to the next thing. Wow, I don't know either. I feel like I've seen Akari in my chat before. He did not address Nayashe or Neptune's. That's pretty rough. I don't know who Dumpex is, sadly. Akari says, suck Meiwa, low APM, very good single target spots. Awakening Meiwa, high APM. I would not say that Awakening Meiwa is particularly high APM. I would say it's middle of the road. Roughly middle of the road to low. Like, not as low as Suck Meiwa, but definitely still low. Density spots and good. And the poor guy thinks this because I'm pretty sure he's never played Zerker. Or he's never played Ninja. Suck Meiwa is pretty, but he's the expert, so honestly, fuck it. Succession Meiwa is pretty easy to learn. You just spam skills in the situations on PvE. Well, just use your skills. He has a statue in BA. Yeah. Well, I didn't say he was bad. I just said that I feel like his opinion that this Suck Meiwa is a high, or Awakening Meiwa is high APM is, I don't know, when you compare it to something like Ninja, is it really high APM? Right? Because Ninja's high APM. It relies a lot on frontal guards, but Awakening is harder. You should be able to use combos off it. Honestly, you could go mid to high APM is the highest I'm going to accept for that. All right, now we go to okay, now we're on Valkyrie. All right, 10 out of 10 early game. There it is. Difficulty hard. Okay, let's get it together. All right, so just to be clear, in the early game for Valkyrie, you can just hold down forward right mouse button and drive around with a steering wheel. I'm not just attach a steering wheel to your computer and just drive around. And as long as those two buttons are held down, you're going to be fine. Yeah, RMB space. I'm sorry. Yeah, RMB space. Yeah, whatever this is. Right? Easy peasy. Okay. Into the late game, it's actually one of the higher APM classes and requires a lot of finesse, APM, and just overall skill level to make it work. But it is actually really good at it. I would consider it actually pretty good at higher end spots. Like, okay, so mid to high end spots like Orcs. It's really good at Orcs. I would say it's pretty good at most of the Calpheon Elvia spots. It's pretty good, right? I'm not really sure about Olins. It's got to be pretty good at Olins. It's got to be one of the better classes at Olins. It gives special attack damage to its allies and a bunch of accuracy, right? Ares and Kendaya again. Hold up. He plays Valkyrie and Zerker? Class master of both? Was Valk main for a long time? Okay. Both Awakening and Succession are very underwhelming compared to what other classes you can pick from. Yikes. I think that's... let's see. Let him cook. Arguably, the Valk train is where a Awakening Valkyrie shines, but there's Succession Berserker that can outperform us. Overall, both specs lack damage and partially range. What do you mean partially range? There's no range in Valkyrie. You've got, like, Celestial Spear that is, like... It's got that much range. It's got that much range. Aside from that, it really doesn't have any range at all. The F has range. The F. You mean the alt? No, again, that's how far it can go. You can go up with it, but you ain't going very far that way. I mean, we did a guide on this on Monday. F is the jump. No, that's not range. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's, again, it's still a melee skill. You're just jumping onto them. You're still melee though. Regardless, for Awakening, having to go through the entire skill kit compared to Succession Berserker just holding down RMB most of the time is not really rewarding. I agree with that statement. Yeah, like I said, you have to work really hard on this class to make it work at high-end spots. But I would say once you've made it work, you know, you get over that APM hump, it's actually really solid. Kendaya says, for early game stage, class is one of the best in the game thanks to the Valkyrie movement. But it shouldn't push you to think like, oh, Valkyrie is easy for a good grind. I'm glad that he's pointing this out. Because Valtrain is space RMB is generally used for movement when you touch mid to end game stage. Wait. It's generally used for movement when you touch mid to end game stage. When you touch mid and end game stage, you will have to deal constant damage and have to check your cooldowns always because there is no proper infinite combo for her. Succession, she's very viable after the changes. Not the best, not the worst, but she needs a little bit of a rework on her skills. I would say that Succession suffers tremendously in mobility. Damage overall is pretty solid, but like the mobility is just not super crazy there. But I would say, yeah, it's relatively middle of the road. It's kind of mid PvE. Overall, Valkyrie is not a very good class in these days. Hard disagree. Game is changing and gets updates for every class. She needs proper changes and maybe a rework to shine in PvE. Yeah, if we're talking about specifically PvE, I feel that Valkyrie is actually relatively middle of the road. Based on what Lane and Raiden have told me. Who are, again, both Valkyrie experts. But, like, I think that saying it's in a really bad spot would say that, okay, yeah, it's in the same pool as Succession, like Nova. And I think that that's unfair. I think Succession Nova is in a really bad spot, and you can't realistically compare either's forms of Valkyrie to classes like that. I would say it's mid to low tier, but like it still does its job. You just have to actually know how to play it. Thoughts on Sork? Great class. All of my thoughts are actually in this Choose Your Class guide. If you look at the Sork guide, I think Sork's a great class. We already went through it in this VOD, but I think that like Sork's probably a little bit better at late game PvE, but it's just really solid. It's kind of a menace of PvP, so you're going to be really successful in PvP. All right, Wizard. The Hunt Dog commented on this. This is good. And Horsey's a gamer too. Early game, 8 out of 10. I would still say it's not. I wouldn't say it's that high. But yeah, 7 out of 10 would be reasonable. But like because you only have 2 teleports to work with and you're just running. I mean, you have Speed Spell basically and like Blue Orb. And you're basically running pack to pack outside of your TPs. Which is fine. I would say 8 out of 10 is like, okay, it's the upper end of fair. Mid game, end game, yeah, okay. Yeah, it kind of starts to go downhill in the end game because you don't have a crazy amount of frontal guards. Black Shrine, yeah, I would say it's lower than a 5 out of 10 if I'm being entirely honest. Early game, 7 out of 10. I don't know how Awakening beat out Succession for early game when it doesn't have a split teleport. I'm not really sure how that works. But okay. And Awakening also has better, like, big AoE, like, skills that you can just one-shot everything with. Like, at Centaurs, you just get the whole pack. It's, like, way easier. I think the Awakening is better than Succession at early game spots. And mid-game spots, and late-game spots. So the rest of these are good. This is fine. Very easy, I agree. Succession, medium. I would say it's hard in PvE. Read it with the Huntler voice. I don't even know what you mean by that. You missed a raid? Oh my god. Oriana? Oh my gosh, I actually followed Oriana today. Did we get... Bro, can my mods do their job? Does anyone want to be a mod? Holy crap. Yo, Oriana, thanks for that raid. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, go give Oriana a follow. I hope that you guys hit that follow button there and turn that follow button purple to green. Okay. /mod at Brovku can have it. He's in here all the time. Nobody answer. /mod at GameSage can have it. Sure. I'll take the biscuit legs. Absolutely. I like people that are in here really frequently. Mod me, I got you. Hey, Getting back to the game, and everyone's told me to say fail stacks. Okay, this is your Garma. I got full obliterate. Is there room in the guild? Okay. Sure. Yeah. I got a kill. Perfect. Yeah. All right. That's fine. Yeah, you could be a mod. Bro, I always check. I always check. There you go. Yo, I gotta check. I gotta check. I gotta check. Bianca, thanks for that follow. I appreciate that. I can never be mod. I might qualify. That's true. Mod at Souls. There you go. Now you have it. All right, now we have enough mods. I just want you guys really to shout out people when they raid and stuff. Okay. All right, Huntler. Generally, Succession Mage PvE is great at early game / low HP, low defense spots where you one-shot packs. It is a very fast, quick spec that excels going pack to back quickly and one-shotting them. Not as good as... but it's only got 2 TPs. That's the problem. You're running, basically. But it is good. It's above average for sure. As it becomes significantly worse as... Wait. As the time to kill on a mob spot goes up, however, it becomes significantly worse as it lacks sustained DPS. Yeah. Suck Witch is much better in PvE. Because it's got MMA, so it feels more like a Gatling gun and you have an extra frontal guard and stuff. That's where Awakening Mage excels. Awakening Mage has high sustained DPS, high accuracy, and is very easy to use protected combos that don't require constant input needed for Succession. Perfectly said. This makes Awakening an excellent choice for lazy grinders that still want to make very good money, grinding the in-game grind spots. Perfect. If you're searching a Node War Siege class, both specs are good and viable. For smaller scale 1v1 PvE, I would recommend a different class for better results. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I think that both Awakening and Succession can be really solid at smaller scale. 1v1's Awakening, sure, it suffers a little bit, but it's got a grab, right? And it's like fully protected, so like it can't be that bad. It just suffers on mobility. Yeah, it's in the lower half of classes, but like, okay. PvE, I actually think that Awakening is really solid. I recommend PvE Awakening Wizard. It's a solid class in my opinion. Caster propaganda. Look, I'm just saying. It's the first time I've ever heard Huntler say anything positive. I just want to point that out. He's still the nicest person in Snake. He's just in digital now. I hate you. Yeah. Fuck you, Kendaya. What the hell, man? He didn't ask me for a comment. He didn't ask me for a concern. He just said, fuck it, send it on Looney Storm. Who the fuck is that? That's not even Belly. That's not Twinkie. I'm a hard dono wall. Experts, oh, shut your mouth. You shut up. I got hard dono walled on this. This is bullshit. That being said, everything that was said here is absolutely true. They pretty much hit all the bullet points. I'd place Awakening around S- overall and Suck around A- to A+. Okay, that's fucking copium. Everywhere in S and Gyfin / Old Olens. Why the fuck does Old Olens matter? Are they gonna revert the patch? Oh, well, it was really good 3 years ago. Despite all the recent Suck Witch AoE changes, it still lacks short CD AoE spells with good enough damage to compete with Awakening in spots like Hexacry and Orcs. Absolutely correct. Awakening is just far and away the better PvEer, mainly because it's such lower APM, you're mainly frontal guarded protected, and you just turn your brain off and go. Succession is you're just sweating the entire time, always casting skills, always trying to be maximally efficient, like 95 fucking million APM. And you're still going to underperform on Awakening. But when you do play Succession at a really high level, it's actually not all that bad. You just have to use way more work. I mean, Old Olens, it was pretty good, but like that's not relevant anymore because now there's new Olens. And there's classes that are just way better. Like Awakening Witch is still better at Olens than Succession is. Is this the payphone meme? Suck versus Awakening. No, this isn't a meme. I would say all of this has been really good information. Oh my god. Alright, so the biggest problem with this video so far, Kendaya, I love you. Stop making your viewers read. It is a video. We are here to listen. And we're visual learners. That does not mean we want to fucking read. Okay? There's just too much shit on the screen. You gotta read it to us. We don't want to, there's no Armin. He consulted Yellow. Today, honestly, can somebody go get Armin and tell him that he's dog shit and that Yellow has always been the better ninja? Close quotations, Kendaya 2023. Armin is garbage. Yellow is the best. That is Kendaya. Fuck. I always fuck up Kendaya 2023. There it is. All right, somebody send that to him. I can't believe he didn't ask Armin, bro. Armin's open to all this. He helped me out, too. Yellow's really good, though. In fairness, Yellow is an amazing ninja. Shunko, I don't know very well. But Yellow I can vouch for. Is incredibly good at ninja. Succession PvE is APM heavy. It's try-hard, sweaty, rewarding, but only if you put in a lot of effort. Okay, that's not for the 98% of you. We're just done with that, okay? Don't even fucking bother. Awakening PvE has been streamlined a lot nowadays. Still sweaty, though. It's a lot more efficient to grind only Awakening. Still really high APM. Not as high as Succession, but still really high. Don't even bother. As a beginner ninja, I would heavily suggest grinding a lot on Zerker. If he had said that, I would have lost my mind. I would heavily suggest grinding a lot to teach yourself muscle memory and inputs. This is actually really smart. I do this on new classes. People ask me, why are you grinding on Tamer? Why are you grinding on Guardy? Why are you grinding on all these, like, why are you doing it? Why are you grinding on Mystic? Because I'm teaching myself the mechanics of the class. To be honest with you, that's how I learned the class. Because I practice stuff in PvE. It's not crazy efficient, but it helps get down the muscle memory and the movement of the class. It's absolutely huge. Good job. Good Fight 3-4 was a close one. Yeah, you guys turboed us. My advice to new players is that they should never play Awakening for PvE. Well, which is it? Son of a... You can't put up two conflicting things on the screen and it's like... Well, now, Yellow is telling us to play Awakening, and Shunko is telling us not to play Awakening. Awakening is one of the hardest classes to play with PvE damage. It's not that good. They can play Awakening for PvP purposes after playing Succession to begin with and reaching 700 gear score. You can totally play Ninja. Just hit 700 gear score first. I don't understand. It's really easy. Auntie Natal with the brand new Prime sub. Thanks so much. Nothing makes me wetter than a brand new sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To get the wet floor signs out for these people. Thank you. All right, this is good. Ninja is not a simple character. Absolutely true. It can make players very tired and give up while playing. Absolutely true. It takes practice for a long time, a good system, internet, and reflexes. $4,000 required to play Ninja at a competent level. Also, living in the server room at Pearl Abyss helps. I hope they consider these before playing. In summary, my suggestion is that those who are newbies and want to play with this class should first learn the basics of the character by playing Succession. He literally recommended Awakening. He is now recommending Succession. I don't know what to do anymore. Do you see how this might be a problem? Don't forget FPS. That's why I said you need $4,000. 4K and still only get 80 FPS due to crap servers. Well, no, you just need to use Invicta. And then, what is that? I'm blanking. Exit lag. Exit lag. Exit lag class. Wow, he really didn't say a word. He just put it, like, look at how much text is on the screen, bro. It's almost making me tired because I have to read it to you guys. All right, Sluzzy's a unit. Proficient is also a specimen. Kuno, still not good in PvE, especially at endgame spots. But don't worry, they're fixing bugs on the class every single patch. She's also extremely thick. Positive. High APM to get average, or to below average trash numbers for PvE. For PvE, she is not newbie friendly. That is true. That is true. Kunoichi is not a good character for PvE. High APM, average results is not okay for the current situation. She's definitely good for PvP, but below average for PvE. I would say that that is a generally correct statement. However, if you like Kunoichi, you should play it. Okay? That character has been taking chicken hormones. You shut your... Man, we love Kunoichi. Suck Ninja was on the S tier on that one tier list for PvE and low APM, though. Yeah, Cade Games is our messiah of content. My favorite is when my community is watching Cade Games' video more than Cade Games' community is watching Cade Games' video. I agree with these statements about Kuno. I just wish that, like... I honestly don't like it when class experts... You'll notice that in my Choose Your Guide, class guide videos, I'm very generous with every class in the game. It's because I want a new player to pick a class genuinely because they like to play it and it looks really cool. I don't want players to pick a class because, like, oh, well, both of these people said Kuno just sucks in PvE and I shouldn't play it. Well, now they're not going to play the class that they really wanted to play, and now they're probably not going to stick with the game. I think that that's bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't think that really, like... Yes, this is kind of a tier list, but, like, new players are going to watch this, so, like, it's kind of rough. Like, you have... I don't know. Poor Frosty plays every class, and the Global Labs will have buffs for Kuno, and it never comes. The trick is to just play Sork. Sorks, they get nerfs on the Global Labs, and then by the time we get to live, Sork is being buffed in major ways. We don't know how it happens. They're just legends. They're good at complaining. They're good at complaining. Suck Nova is terrible. No one play it. Sarcasm. PA, please buff. Well, I mean, like... Again, yeah. I mean, you could be negative, but, like, try to say some positive stuff about the class, too, so that... You know, he said, like, oh, yeah, you had, like, one sentence about... Oh, or, like, one clause. Not even a full sentence about, oh, yeah, it was okay in PvP, but then that was it. You know what I mean? For both paragraphs. It's kind of rough. All right, DK. Wow, this is it? Well, all we did was go... Man, Etsu's in shambles. Etsu's in complete shambles. I played DK for 3.5 years. Let's see both specs. Let's see what they have to say. Learn to use pre-awakening properly. Oh, on awakening. Learn to use pre-awakening properly. C-swap cancels. Which damage skills to use to not lose DPS. Okay, so the advice here was to just learn the class, guys. Succession has an incredible amount of block jumps, so make sure you always use Nocturne and Twilight Dash. Actually, Succession only has one block jump, and it's Nocturne, exactly. It's just up every 7 or so seconds. Twilight Dash isn't a block jump. I can't think of another block jump on DK other than Nocturne. To get as many back attacks as you can to max DPS output. This is true, but they didn't really say anything about the class. I think early game, she's really good. Awakening is really good at early game. I would say she's also really solid at late game if you can stay alive. They didn't say anything about the fact that DK is just super, super, super squishy. It's one of the squishiest classes in the game. Like, it's almost squishier than Ranger. And so, like, you need a higher overall DP to grind high-end spots than other classes in the game. Right? So, like, that's something you should be aware of. She does have a lot of iframes, but the problem is if you spend the entire time iframing, you're not doing any damage, so you're losing a lot of trash. But, like, if you have, like, a lot of DP, you can grind those spots more efficiently. So if you're comfortable grinding there, yeah, you're going to go faster than the other classes. It's also, Awakening is pretty high APM. To be clear, it's pretty high APM overall in PvE. Succession is pretty low APM. It's mid to low APM. It's really not that bad. This guide is not new player friendly. It wasn't necessarily for new players. It's just a detailed PvE guide, right? So let's be fair. I'm just trying. I know there's a lot of new players in the audience, so I'm trying to talk to them about it. It's just if you're gonna do a PvE guide, I really think you should address new players. So Divios failed to comment, but CP, this guy's an absolute specimen. So, like, yeah, okay. Strikers overall, he gave him one sentence. Gave him one sentence. In fairness, this is probably all he could translate, because I don't think that Kandaya actually speaks very fluent Primate. You know what I mean? Striker is overall very solid class for PvE. Performing very well and being easy on the fingers. That is it. It was well said. I think that early game Striker is much better than that. Well, actually, it lacks the AoE to be good at early game spots, but it's got really good mobility. So honestly, I think that this is fine, right? Just because early game is all about mobility, sure, and AoE, and it doesn't have AoE. Mid and late game, 9 out. Yeah, so this is good. I like this. Awakening, 7 out of 10. So yeah, it's because it's got a lot more AoE, right? 9 out of 10, 8 out of 8. Yeah, all these numbers so far have been basically bang on. But really spot on. I do disagree sometimes with where I kind of just add what I found when I interview. Oh my god. This is what Striker got, and then this is what Mystic got. This is why we always get more female classes in the game. I'm just saying. Like, we care way more about the thickness than we do about the men. We don't, yeah, fuck men. We don't even care about those people. They're stupid. But women, hell yeah. We are in. This is why all of the skins are for women. This is why all of new classes are all women. I'm also a leg guy, so Mystic is just a W all around. You know what I mean? Intellectual female class enjoyers. I've read books smaller than this for school. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why I'm trying to read it for you guys, so you guys don't have to. All right, Mystic is really easy to pick up, but not very hard, but not very easy to master. Perfectly said. You'll need to manage your stamina and skills very correctly in terms of PvX. You won't be able to efficiently use your combos 90% of the time. It would need to go for a freestyle approach. I would say Succession is exactly that. You have to be really careful because it's a lot of unprotected skills right in a row. So you have to be careful about, like, when mobs are trying to use a CC skill on you, you have to constantly be audibling your PvE rotation. That's kind of what he's trying to say here. And sometimes going for risky plays to shine. Okay, that's in PvP. You're also required to have a lot of gear outside of uncapped content to enjoy Mystic's gameplay, as we do not have many iframes or insane mobility. I would say that its mobility is actually quite good. You hold shift, you move forward. It's really solid. So the next best thing would be upping your defense. If you put in effort, it'll definitely show in the long run. Knowing your weaknesses against the class also comes with experience. Yeah, so Awakening Mystic has a really high skill ceiling. Really low skill floor. And what that means is that it's really easy to pick up, very difficult to master. I would say Succession is actually a little more difficult to pick up. I found it more difficult to pick up. Jazzy found it more difficult to pick up. That's Jazzy Sensei, for those of you that don't know. She was a top-ranked Mystic in AOS every season, basically. I don't know. It's just Succession's kind of difficult because if you use stuff out of order, certain skills will move you and stuff, and it's really annoying. But if you combo correctly and your skill inputting correctly, the class flows like butter. So, like, I'd actually say that Succession's a little bit more difficult to pick up. But then, like, once you've kind of got the hang of that, it's really easy. Like, the skill ceiling is just not crazy there on Suck Mystic, in my opinion. It's really, like, it's kind of mid. But, like, Awakening has a higher skill ceiling, is much easier to pick up overall. I'd say Awakening, honestly, I've played both of them in PvE. I'd say Awakening is honestly better in PvE, basically, across the board. It's easier, it's lower APM, it does more damage. I think it's more protected than Succession, in my opinion. I think it's just better. Suck used to be better, but it's just lower APM. I mean, it's lower AoE, too. Verdict. Oh, there's our boy right there. Awakening right now is overall easier and better choice. Thank you, Verdict. I promise I didn't look at that beforehand. A lot of that comes from the fact that her base damage recently got buffed quite a lot. That is absolutely true. Succession used to be better. Succession still scales better, yes, with damage into the late game. But the stats are not there yet for her. Awakening's biggest down factor is the Summon Dragon, which does not scale in addition to special attack damage. Not sure about that one. Succession Mystic is capable of catching up to Awakening on Elixir back attack spots, but Succession is still not as good. Okay, as far as the dragon not including special attack damage, I would say that that is probably a true statement, as no pets in the game apply special attack damage that I am aware of, whether it be gore or whatever. Will this be a VOD? Yes, it will. Just make sure you're on the YouTube. It'll be released this week on YouTube as a reaction video. You're good to go. Travesty. One of the better Awakening Mystics that has graced our good presence in the game. Mystic is a relatively above average grinder. I agree. However, suffers at spots where mobs are far apart due to lacking mobility. It sucks Zerk, Awakening Nova, Awakening Musa, and Awakening Valkast. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're comparing it to those classes, sure, but I'd say it's better than most other classes in the game. Right, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 52 specs in the game are, okay, sure, those are better. But like I'd say Awakening and Suck Mystic are both really solid in terms of overall mobility. I've never really struggled too much. Suck Mystic doesn't have large AoEs, yep, making her one shot spot efficiency go down quite a bit. Awakening Mystic has larger AoEs but doesn't compare to Megu or Wusa and has below average long distance mobility. Okay. I don't know why you need long distance mobility for grinding, but yeah, sure, okay. Alright, Lawn. Alright, Succession, yeah. Basically, really good marks across the board. Really easy to play. Yes, I agree. The Chillers and Brinny. Okay, there were other people to ask, but yeah, that's fine. They're fine. Yo, Commando Master, Cutie, and Zernict, 2012. Hey, girl, hi. Thanks for those follows, guys. I appreciate those. 30 minutes later, we finished Mystic. Bro, I'm just trying to read what he has on the screen, right? Like, what do you want me to do? Suck is very good at early and mid-game spots and early easy. I don't think that Awakening is necessarily this great at grinding. I don't think that it's like this close to Succession. I would say it's above average. It probably gets like a 7, 7.5, but like, I'm not the expert, but like, I don't know these guys either, so I don't know. But like, I don't know if the Awakening Lawns would actually agree that Awakening Lawn is basically the same. Because they have Awakening Lawn basically as the exact same as Succession Lawn. And I don't really agree with, I think that Awakening is definitely a little bit worse. It's not like a crazy amount worse, but it doesn't do as well. But I don't know. Let's see what they have to say. Suck is very good at early and mid-game spots and extremely easy. Lacking healing on skills and kind of low accuracy modifiers, so it falls off a bit later on. Black Shrine is also good. 100% would recommend for a new player because of how easy it is. Awakening is also very good at early and mid-game spots. That's true. Suck is just a bit better because of its more mobility. Awakening now has insane HP regen on skills. Okay, that's a fair argument. So I think it's better for the Shrine than Suck if the regen is needed. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Awakening definitely has more HP regen. But like if you have an infinite pot, no one's going to care unless you're at the Black Shrine. He's right. Damage is a bit less though. No one cares about HP regen in PvE. You just have more gear is the solution there. And also potion all the time. If new player tags or plays Lawn, I would recommend to start with Suck first and then try Awakening a little bit after. True. Awakening's probably, honestly, it's flipped in PvP. In PvP, Awakening's easier than Succession because your solution is, I'm going to dash at him and then I'm going to grab him. Succession, you have to actually like form a flight path and like actually catch people. Chillers has an Awakening Lawn PvP guide. Sweet. 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 Awakening has mobility as Bloody Stride. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, we got Torty in here. And Zaki Skip. Wow. Archer at endgame PvE is a 9 out of 10. And honestly, in PvE, I would agree that Archer is a very hard class in PvE. No, I'm not joking. In PvP, I would disagree. But in PvE, I actually hard agree with that because it's a fundamentally ranged class that you're being forced to play at close range. It's going to be really hard to position that properly, right? Right? Took me 4 years to play Archer. Everywhere I look, I see his name. Lons love hunting archers. It's true. Does your guild have a T1 guild for returning players? No, I recommend like nerds or omniscient. Omni is what we call them. Honestly, you can join any of the T1 guilds and you'll be okay. And you just gear up and then you can come to us when you're ready. Okay? But you can apply, as we don't technically have a gear score requirement, but it might be a little tougher to get in if you're in Tuvalu, you know what I mean? Okay, class has a huge huge spike in difficulty compared to early game and end game. Yes, because the class doesn't require you to learn anything outside of using large AoE skills at low end spots. Absolutely the truth. You end up in situations at the end game spots where you don't know how to grind since there aren't many guides on Archer for people to learn it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's absolutely true. The only class at the moment that I'd say is strictly better than optimal Archer in PvE is Awakening Nova at the end game spots, and in mid game spots, Megu is better due to her larger AoEs for packs. Class is very, very squishy, easy to play for early game, but it's getting harder and harder to PvE at the end game stage. Let me get this straight. You just said the only class that is better than Archer in PvE is Awakening Nova. I don't... Okay, we're gonna... Alright, how do I say this? That is just wrong. Wusa is strictly way better. Like, yeah, like instead of... So we're jerking Archer instead of Wusa. Yeah, like off the top of my head, Wusa is just overwhelmingly stronger than Archer is. I mean, like, I'd love to see some of the Archer trash loot numbers. I'd like to see them outdo... honestly, let's see them outdo Zerker, too. Like, But, like, really, it's... Wusa is the big one that comes to mind. Also, Megu's really good in PvE, but, like... He does mention it here, like, mid-game spots, Megu is better due to the larger AoE for packs. I think Awakening Witch is better than Archer, too. I think Awakening Witch is way better than Archer. Like, way, 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 way better. My man is smoking something if he thinks Archer is second best in PvE. Well, maybe he knows... Like, there's other people in the chat saying Zach's numbers are insane, but very few Archers can do it. I'd love to see what his numbers are compared to some of the better Awakening Witches or like Wusa's. You know, and I compare him to Wusa and let's see what... show me. Archer can pull 30k at Orcs. Okay, that's not an endgame spot. That's a mid-game spot. We're talking about endgame like what Decius. Decius, or the new region, right? I'm not saying he's wrong necessarily. I would say that I think that he's wrong. But, like, he's the expert. So if he feels Archer is that strong, okay. I do agree that it's very hard. Because, again, you're playing a range class at melee distance. So, like, he could be right. I'm not sure. I have not played Archer. So I don't know. I just know what our people have told me about Archer, like Torty. Right? We're on 11k blue Thornwood Decky on Archer. Okay, so that's bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the barrel. 11k blue Decky at Thornwood is like... It's like the lowest in the game. It's not even remotely close. Woos is pulling like 24,000. It's stupid as fuck, dude. Zach does have a YouTube channel. Okay, yeah, and I'll take a look at it. Alright, oh my god, dude. Okay, Wutaro and Asmonek. I know both these guys, they're solid. Black Shrine, 10 out of 10. Okay, yeah, I believe it. End game, 9.5 out of 10, sure. Early game, honestly, I'd say it's a little lower. I would say Shy is like a 4 out of 10 early game. Its mobility is really crappy, so, and its AoE is really not very good. I really do not like Shy early game, but I agree with the rest of this. I've played a lot of Shy. Wutaro, Shy is fairly easy class to learn for low-end areas and will progressively get harder for mid to end game spots. Early game is literally literally holding RMB, although you can still... Yeah, okay, so yes, you can... I was wondering what their logic was. You can just hold right mouse button in early game, but it's like really slow. Like you're gonna grind really, really like 5 times slower than the other classes. Although you can still do that at mid to end game spots, you lose a lot of efficiency. I recommend looking into a few videos or streams to see if you can... Twitch.tv/Wutaro to see if you can learn a bit more on how the class works. I think it's Wutaro_NA. Don't get me wrong. Shy is a great class, but a lot of people are worried about the class due to their childlike features. Well, you didn't have to mention that. But now that you've drawn attention to it, now it's glaringly obvious. Like that, now it's like, why every time we got to talk about Shy, we got to talk about how you're playing a kit? Yeah, like we got to like bring the FBI into it. He knows he's on a watch list. Beyond that, I think people will enjoy the class overall if they like the support class with high sustain. It's true. It's true. It's actually probably the most sought after class in the late game spots, to be clear, because of its buffs and stuff. Don't you mean Shay? That's true. That's true. But that was in a different video. If I said Shay in this video, people would flame me in the comments. Asmonek, Shy is a fun class with a different kind of playstyle than the others. Because most of our skills have such low cooldowns, you aren't following one set of skill combos and repeating. It's more about knowing when each skill is best utilized for any given situation. This is a lot like DK, by the way. If you want to try out Shy, the best thing to do is to just give yourself some time to discover what works best on the class for you. Life skilling. I agreed with what they said, though. All right, again, okay, Aaron, Ravo, and Kendaya. We didn't even put Vessel on this list. That's kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Early game. Sure. Yeah, okay, this is fine. End game, 9.5 out of 10. I think that's a little high, but sure. Wow, they actually rank Succession significantly better than Awakening. I don't know if Succession is medium difficulty. I'd say it's relatively easy. It's kind of unprotected, I guess, is probably their explanation for it. But, like, let's see what they say. Succession, she's one of the best grinders for mid and end game PvE. Stages of the game. They're both pretty easy. That's what I mean. That's why, like, I don't think medium is a fair assessment. She's got insane damage buffs and insane accuracy modifiers. I wouldn't say insane accuracy modifiers. Let's not get out of hand here. When you get to play protected yourself, she could be your favorite class in PvE. Definitely newbie friendly. Well, how can it be newbie friendly if it's a medium? Like, that doesn't demonstrate newbie friendly in difficulty. She needs more damage on her skills or needs more speed. She's pretty easy to play and used to it. I don't know. She got buffed recently. And the best option for every end game stage, but definitely one of the best for fresh startup for newbies. When you get used to play game... Oh, Jesus. When you get used to playing the game, you can change your stance in Succession and have fun. I'm sorry, guys. I have to, like, translate as we go. This was 4 weeks ago. So, yeah, we had the Guardian buffs at this point. I think that's unfair to Awakening. I think it's stronger than that. Yeah. Harder than Awakening Musa. According to this graph, yes. Again, I don't know if that's not... Like, I don't know if harder... I don't know. Guardian's pretty easy. It is a class that I'd say would rival Awakening Musa in terms of overall, like, difficulty level. Okay, Hashashin. This should be, like, a really hard class. Okay, yeah, hard. It should have high APM. Yeah, I heard that at endgame, Hash is actually really good in PvE. And this lines up with what I have been told based on what Suzanne and them have told me. Yeah, I've heard that it's really, really good. But like early game, 4 out of 10, I think that's a little disingenuous. I think it's got better mobility than that, but maybe not. Between the two specs, Suckash is overall the better PvE spec. And with the incoming changes to the open world PvP, it's no longer a debate on grinding on Awakening just for 1v1 ability. So for Succession Hash, the APM is extremely high. So if you don't, well, I mean, so is Awakening. So if you don't vibe with the class, I wouldn't recommend it. But it does feel good since you use nearly every single skill during the rotation. I don't know how that could possibly feel good. It feels good because you get to use every skill in the kit. It also feels bad because you get to use every skill in the kit. Very succinctly said. So it isn't a boring grind. Okay, that's a fair statement. You are not bored. Succession is easier to begin with, but has a higher APM than Awakening in PvE. Zorani kept it short, sweet, and to the point. Doesn't have a lot of sustained movement, more burst speed. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think that's fair. I think those are fair numbers. All right. Early game, 3 out of 10, Succession Nova. Sure, it's got terrible fucking mobility. Mid game, 7 out of 10. I don't know about that. Have you played Awakening Nova? Yeah, like 7 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. All right, let's compare it to a different class mid game. Tamer. It's not... It feels like a forum post because you have to read everything. That's why it feels like a forum post. But it's a good video. I think this is way too high. Endgame, I think 6 out of 10 is also too high. I think she's 3 or 4 out of 10. Like, she is low APM and pretty well protected for sure, but, like, the damage is just not... You can't get behind the mobs because her mobility is so bad. And then, like, her damage is just kind of super lackluster as a result. I don't know. I just feel like it's, like, not very good. Endgame Sec Nova is pretty strong now since the buffs. But you can't get behind the mobs, man. Wasted 2 years of my life playing Suck Nova, never again. Yeah, it's been buffed now. I mean, it has been buffed, but it was mainly like the HP buffs and stuff. Yeah, it got a little bit more damage, but like I still don't feel like it's all that great. Well, I don't know. Awakening is genuinely some of the best numbers. That I would agree with, but like according to this... Yeah, so Awakening, sure. Yes, yes, absolutely, sure. But it's a really hard class, yeah. Again, and... Really? Really? Is this what the world is coming to? Like, I don't understand how you could put Succession Nova above very easy. Or even easy. Like, I can't in good conscience put them in the medium tier. I heard some really good Suck Nova numbers for Thornwood Dekia. You heard them. That's the key word. Okay? Hearing them is different than seeing them. I would like to see a VOD, and then I will believe it. But let's see what they say. Akari says, I think in good hands, Awakening Nova is one of the best classes in PvE. I completely agree with that statement. The only spots where I couldn't take Nova would be Gyphon Underground, Crypt, and Centaurs. Really? Centaurs? Crypt, I believe. Advice for new Awakening Nova players is buy a tent. And brand your offhand. If it's not branded, it breaks in 20 to 30 minutes. The class is hard to learn, but it's easier with time. It gets better, not too discouraged after an hour or two. So there's nothing in here about Suck Nova. There's no basis for the Suck Nova. That's my... I am critical of the Suck Nova here being a medium skill floor. And then a 7 out of 10 when you compare it to the other classes in the game. I think that's a little cap. At best, it's 5 out of 10. You talk like Asmongold, the more I hear you talk. That's the best compliment I've received in a long time. We take those. Hey, boys, that's a win. That's a win. I agree with the Awakening sentiment. Succession, I don't know. I'd have to see. I'm not saying it's strictly wrong, but I would say I would like it to be proven. I would like it to be proven. I don't believe things until I see it, and I have not seen Succession Nova perform well in any PvE spot in a long time. All right. Turtle Dove with the brand new Prime sub. Thanks so much, buddy. Nothing makes me wetter than a brand new Prime sub. You're a hero. JDNOCE. Hey, girl. Hey, thanks for those follows, guys. I really appreciate those. Let's go. Both bald. He has so much hair, he can't possibly be bald. He's balding. He hasn't given up yet. We gave up long ago. Oh my god, we're going for the hype train. We're one more away from the hype train. Space Monstering the brand new Prime sub. Thanks so much, buddy. Again, I'm going to have to put out the wet floor signs for you guys. Space, you're an absolute specimen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's move on to stage here. Baldur's Gate. Okay, yeah, banned. Divios, Siraj, and Zethian. Okay, good. Let's see what these look like. Early game, mid game, late game. Yeah, I agree with all of this. Very easy. Sure. Yeah, I like that. Thank God they were honest. I don't know why I unpaused it. It's just music playing in the background. Early game, it's relatively low because its mobility is kind of crappy. It's kind of crappy. Oh my God, we just got 5 gifters. Cochrane with the 5 gifters. Yo! On to Style Sob, Herman Nurples, Paradigm 2X, The Hoax, and Devious. Welcome to the squadron, guys. Thank you so much to Cochrane hitting that hype train. What an absolute specimen. And then Samerse coming in with a brand new Prime sub. Thank you so much for supporting me. The hype train, choosing me for your Prime sub. It means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. Specimens. Specimens. Okay. Any Dodgers in chat? I'm not sure what that means. Siraj. Okay, let's see what they... Okay, Awakening. 8 out of 10 at early game spots. It does have better mobility and better AoE. So yeah, that checks out. Mid and late game... Mid game, 9.5 out of 10. Zethian said this. He's at Sakraya all the time. Dodged. What am I dodging? What am I dodging? How do I raid again? It's /raid. And then the name of the stream, blue_squadron. /raid and then the name of the stream. Blue Squadron is worth it. Quality content. Let's go. Yeah, we got Yobi coming back in for the 3 months Dodger here. I don't like the Dodgers. I'm a Cardinals fan myself. Yobi, thanks so much for that 3-month, buddy. I really appreciate it. Yeah. We dodged the gift? What do you mean I dodged the gift? I got turtle dev. I didn't oh, you mean dodge the gift. Oh, I get it now. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're all dodging. Agents in the Matrix. You guys are. Cards fan, nice. Yeah. Yeah. I think if I was a Cubs fan, I might be shot. Because that rivalry is fat. All right, let's see what they have to say. Siraj says, at first glance, you see that Sage is a very powerful character at killing monsters. Whether Sucker Awakening, but after practicing the character for long periods, it becomes clear to you that it cannot do what is appropriate at the high-end spots. Okay. What we can say is that Awakening in Suck Sage is perfect in the mid-game. Absolutely. Orcs, Underground, Sakraya, Kratuga, but the Awakening is better in the early game because it has better
related
mobility.
Question: after I get my pen belt, do I go for pen ring or awaken pen Blackstar after?
You'd have to give me your gear so that I could see it. I can't just... It's not the same for everyone. All right, where was I? Both of them are the same. But if you get... but if you want fun, you have to use Awakening. And if you want ease, you have to use Succession. And for reroll, I will never do that because I'm in love. For Awakening, if the game fixed stamina issues, the class will be overpowered and grind. I mean, in the early... He will have perfect DPS, but the problem is he can't go a fast grind for long spots like Monchams. Okay, I think that this was said before the Awakening Sage changes, like 2 or 3 patches ago. To be clear, he said this before that. Nowadays, I think Awakening Sage is even better now. I think it's really solid. Really solid. Nikki with the raid. Thank you so much, Nikki. We got the shout out for Nikki. Hey, girl. Thanks so much for that raid, sister. Guys, join me in following Nikki. Hit that follow button up there. Turn that purple to green there for me. Oh, my God, dude. Dude, there's so much for Corsair. Guys, look how much shit there is. There's so much text on the screen. I actually have to move the camera again. Like, this is unbelievable, dude. Like, I'll just read it to you guys. Oh, my God, it's a novel. It's a novel. That's my boy Suzanne, too. You guys should go give him a follow as well. Grab a shout out for him. He's a unit. Absolute specimen, up and coming streamer. All right, Succession. Early game, 7 out of 10. I think that's copium. I don't know if its mobility and AoE is good enough to be 7 out of 10 early game. It's really, like, I don't know. Mid game, 8 out of 10. That I might be able to believe because you just vaporized the mobs in one skill. End game, 7 out of 10. I think that's a little high, but sure. Okay, fine. Black Shrine, 3 out of 10. Yeah, it's pretty crap. Difficult. It's really slow moving, and it's a lot of like slow standing super armors. So Black Shrine, you just get one shot in the middle of your mermaid skills. Yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad. All the time, Suzanne. We love you, buddy. Awakening Corsair, early game, 8 out of 10. Yes, I do believe it is better than Succession. That is true because it has better mobility. Also has range, mid-game 8 out of 10, end-game 8 out of 10. I actually agree with this now. With the new Corsair buffs, a good Corsair, I think, yeah, could make it an 8 out of 10, sure. Black Shrine, 5 out of 10. Yeah, it's relatively slow casting abilities, and it's a harder class. I agree with all of these things. Okay. Cleo, thanks for that follow. I appreciate that. Islet says, fairly easy to pick up. However, in low-end zones, due to a lot of damaging forward movement skills, it's not Awakening Valk, but it's good. Decent at the mid game due to large AoE skills. This includes up to Gyfin and Hex. Oh my, Hex is not a mid game spot. And falls off fast at the harder zones like Crypt and New Ash. That's because it relies a lot on its evasion. That's absolutely right. That's why it sucks really hard at end game spots. That's also why I said, okay, well, 7 out of 10 might be copium. It's a very heavy evasion style class. And high-end mobs have a lot of accuracy. And you have to stand there in full super armor for a long time in the same place. It's really tough to pull off. Awakening is a little better in the highest end due to being able to move. And damage a lot more. That's true. That is true. Odor says Corsair is ultimately a fun class. Good to lead off with. It's still on the weaker side when it comes to PvE, but the recent buffs changed from 100% unviable to it's not bad. She is still in need of buffs, and I think everyone who's looking into the class should know that there are not getting any S+++++ tier class in terms of results, but they will have a lot of fun. I think that's a fair statement. My best advice for now is to be patient because she's very difficult in most classes. Okay, Awakening is difficult. Succession is not difficult. And different than most other classes in the game, and don't get discouraged due to previous ratings. She's improved a lot. That's true. Okay, you guys can't see it, but 9Tera says, easy on type-packed mobs, bad in places where you need to pull. Okay? Nuke says, and Nuke is a super unit. Nuke says, my tip purely on PvE is Suck is playable now for the most part. Still stands behind the by 10 to 30% versus the top grinders to the low end. Okay. Early game, good mobility, big AoEs, above average. I think that's a fair statement, but I think 7's a little high. I think it should be like 6. Mid game falls off a bit due to long whale cooldowns, but slightly above average. Late game, cooldowns have helped push this back up to the average now. Still about 30% behind the top classes like Wusa. For Black Shrine, it's quite bad as long as you're as long as uncancelable whale skills make C6 plus very hard. Yeah, unless you have a float of gear, Succession is going to be tough at high-end spots. All right, Dracania. Very different, not very difficult. Okay, my bad. Is that what they said? Okay, I'm not going back. There's too much to read. It's too much to read. I'm exhausted. This is exhausting. Dracania, Utio, Kandaya, and Flowers. Okay. Succession sucks in PvE. This checks out. Okay. Awakening, super crazy good. Apparently only good in early game and mid game spots. They're saying the end game spots are not very good. And I would, I'd say it's at least above average. I would say it's at least above average at the late game spots. It is very hard though. That much. Succession is not medium. It's an easy class. Succession is not crazy hard to play. Charge the ions, expel the ions. Charge the ions, expel the ions. Stay protected. Done. Utito says Awakening is well designed. Needs some PvE buffs for PvP nerfs. Require a lot of skill. Very high APM. Not really recommended to new players unless someone just likes her playstyle so much. Succession is in a real bad state right now. Bad 1v1, mediocre mass PvP. Totally bad every state of PvE. It needs some kind of rework. Okay, that's just stupid. You know, I don't say that very often, but to say that Succession Dracania is mediocre in large-scale PvP has got to be one of the most wild statements I have ever heard. The amount of copium that we are smoking. I mean, it's a PvE tier list, by the way. That is fair. He interviewed a PvEer. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. That's fair. Flowers would not have said something so brazenly stupid. Everything else is less wrong. Totally bad at every state of PvE. I actually don't even feel like Dracania... Okay, in 1v1s, I don't even feel like it's all that bad. If you're playing against a grab class, just one-shot them. You guys laughing, but like, I'm not even... I can't tell you how many times it's get in, and then I'm gonna grab...
That is just as absurd as you raising Mono's clothes sausage.
Oh, yeah. It's rough. Yeah, just one-shot them, idiot. It's not bad at 1v1s. Just kill them. Against grab classes, it's bad in 1v1s. But against non-grab classes, I'd say it's pretty good. Isn't that a fair statement? If your opponent doesn't have a grab, I actually think that Suck Drac is really solid. It's got a lot of sustain. It's got a PA ability that saps their mana. It does a lot of damage. Its super armor trades really well. It's got good iframes. Right? Like, I think that that's fair. I think that, like, this is, like, the most unfair statement ever. Like, I don't know. Needs a rework. No. It's really good. Kandaya. Oh, thank goodness. Give me the juice, Kandaya. She might be the most utopic designed character in the game. I agree with that. It's probably the best designed thematic character in Black Desert for sure. They really nailed it with Draconium. Especially Awakening Draconium. Especially the Awakening form. You have 2 weapon stances in Awakening. It makes sense. It makes the class hard to learn and play. You need to learn every
When you
possible...
ask top players about their class, it feels like everyone is basically just doom and gloom.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that's fair. I think that most of them have been pretty positive. It makes the class hard to learn and play. You need to learn every class possible, still cancels to make her viable. And skill cancels to make her viable. There are more than 80 plus skill cancels and flows in both forms. She needs huge PvE. She needs huge PvE damage. Okay, I didn't realize PvE. I did not realize that Awakening Draconian was this bad in the endgame. That's fair. Maybe ion charge system for rework can be good. Maybe a special ion charge system for only PvE for that. I don't know how that would be like doable. For Awakening, there are missing parts and don't want to talk every bad part. Okay. Overall, she is one of the worst right now in the game. That's an unfair statement. With very high effort, you are able to get an average or below average numbers at spots. So is Ninja. Right? So is Succession, Wizard and Witch. So it's making the class very bad at PvE. Again, I think this is being a little too harsh. Not newbie friendly is a fair statement. And it takes a long time to get used to. Good part of her is that she's good PvP potential if you know how to play. Yeah, so Awakening is very difficult. Succession is pretty easy. Okay? Succession is not super great in PvE. I'd say Awakening is definitely better than 5 out of 10, but like it's not... Maybe I'll admit that maybe it's not the best. I did play it when it came out, but I haven't played it since then. He mains it. He doesn't want it nerfed. It's not harsh if it's true. That would be a true statement if this was true. But again, we're looking at people that are saying that it's like mediocre. Like the class is mediocre. I think that, yeah. Regardless. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, there's going to be some... Oh, there's going to be some hot... This is a hot button topic right here. All right, good. They got the 10 out of 10. All right, we're good, boys. Put your pitchforks back away. Who is Kendaya, the one that made the video? Which naturally makes him a class expert on every class in the game, as it turns out. I don't deny that Kendaya has much more class knowledge than almost everyone else that makes content in BDO. That because he's done the due diligence of at least asking the good players on their classes like what they think about their class, and that right there is going to give Kendaya the knowledge that he needs to, like, I don't know, build his foundational knowledge and make a tier list like this. So, like, I don't disagree with him putting himself on almost every class because he probably does know more than most people. And sometimes finding an expert on the class is difficult. Although I will say it looks really bad on the guide that he did not consult Jakun. Jakun is probably the best and only Awakening Musa in the game. And so his opinion is really the only one that matters on Awakening Musa. That's why he didn't consult you. That was very hurtful. I really do think that Jay being left out of the Wusa, like especially the Awakening Wusa, is a travesty. Like, because I know that Jay absolutely would have commented on this. Early game, 8 out of 10. Mid game, okay, all right, this is fine. Difficulty, medium. Sure, that's pretty spot on. Awakening, very easy. I would say Awakening is also medium difficulty. But, like, sure, it's probably a little easier than Succession is. Black Shrine, 4 out of 10. I don't know about that. I don't think that that's necessarily... I don't think it's that bad. I'd have to ask Jay. Expected DeJules there as well? No. I mean, yeah, DeJules is tougher to get a hold of, though. Like, you know, I talk to all these creators on a regular basis. DeJules is kind of hard to reach sometimes. It's the drugs. I love DeJules. But he can be difficult to get a hold of. Jay is around all the time, though. Like, I think that he should have been a consultant. Kendaya, she's the best class for endgame PvE. If not, get nerf. It should be nerfed, I think is what he meant to say. She's not performing that well at mid-game stage. Because she's needed for a proper pull skill. Mostly people trying to use SE and Rabam skill to pull mobs. Or they are spending lots of effort to get good numbers. What they're getting the best numbers in the game, though. Early game stage, she can spam dash E cancel to move pack to pack, okay? Succession Wusa is a high APM class. No. It's mid APM. I've played high APM classes. I've played Kuno. I've played DK. I've played Wusa. Both specs. Suck Wusa is not a high APM class. Medium at best. When you get used to it, you can perform very well. Awakening Wusa is very low APM class and pretty decent for PvE. Her Awakening kit needs some utility changes to perform better. Her damage is pretty satisfactory. I think those are fair statements. What AP is considered endgame? 300 plus. I would say 301 to 305 AP. 305 is really like the endgame PvE. 305 Kudum. Kandaya plays 80% of the classes to master all of them and be considered putting himself to master. Matt, you can't master all these classes. He does have some videos on XY pulling. Okay. I'm not saying that Kandaya has played every class in the game. You don't need to have played every class in the game to be an expert at talking about every class in the game. Okay? If you want to be an expert at talking about every class in the game, you have to talk to the best players in the game on those classes. Okay? That's what he did. Okay? He went to every one of the best players on the classes, or like, you know, like who he feels like are like the best, most respected players on those classes. Not me. And got all of their opinions. That makes him a much more intelligent player. He also made, let's see, we're at 1153 right now. He also has this. He also made these, right? The class interviews. He interviewed everyone on every class in the game, like a really great player on every class in the game, and asked for their thoughts. You don't think that that makes him qualified to actually talk on these classes? I've done the same thing, right? Like, if he's not qualified, then I'm not qualified. Like, this is as good as it gets. Because you can't master every... Chad is right. You can't master every class in the game. What you can do is gather knowledge on those classes from reputable sources. From people that mastered the class, you get their opinion, and then you let that form your opinion of the class. Right? Like, that's what you do. All right, so we're back at Corsair. We did Dracania. We just did Wusa. Wusa's done. Let's go to... Oh, my fucking God. Oh my goodness. When is the video on your opinions on Witch with him? Shut the fuck up. You guys are stupid. Yeah, this is so toxic. The worst part is he asked me to review this video. Have you considered he didn't talk to you because you mainly stream PvP and this is a PvE tier list? That is probably true. Because he didn't ask Belly either. Right? And like, that's a fair statement. It's actually a good... Yeah, read it to us. Oh, I'm gonna. All right, let's look at this. Suck Megu, early game. Okay, yeah, these are good. Those are all fair numbers. It's an easy class. It's pretty good in every aspect of the game. Awakening is a much harder class for sure. Much higher APM. And it performs definitely worse across the board for the most part, except for maybe early game. But like even in early game, I'd say it's worse. I don't think it's even an 8.5 early game. All right. Nethrex, Succession, great AoEs and protections, mediocre DPS, very good burst mobility, stamina efficiency with movement outside of WQ and is relatively slow. Range capabilities compensate for slower average movement. Can be effective with low APM, but it has a lot of room, especially with the mobility, for higher APM and mastery. Skill floor is below average, not the lowest, and the skill ceiling is above average, not the highest. I don't agree that the skill ceiling is all that high, to be honest with you, on Suck Megu. The class's capability to optimizing pulling, movement, DPS, and increasing cancels to clear more effectively. One of the easiest at the tanky low movement. Repeat your combo spots like Gyfin, Trolls, and Decky's Lantern spot. Also quite easy to play in Black Shrine, but lacks DPS. I don't know how the fuck you could say it lacks DPS. That's kind of weird to me. That's weirdage. That's weirdage. He has some crazy trash numbers. Yeah, I don't deny it at all. That's why he's interviewing. Awakening, high DPS, extremely good mobility, though tricky to use effectively with poor stamina regen. Effectively is good, but has issues buying time to regen. Mediocre protection and mediocre bad AoE size. Pre-awakening theoretically good for pulling, but it's ineffective to use constantly and does bad damage. APM is moderately very high throughout playing. Yeah, like I said, high APM. Flows allow time to rest, but APM bursts can be very high. Man, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard trying to translate. Skill floor is higher than average, but not insane. Skill ceiling is at early mid-game spots significant. Movement is absolutely insane. It might be the highest in the game. Really? Due to how instant targeted movement spells work. The AoEs and awkwardness and how the combos flow does not allow it to excel compared to other top performers in these areas, though. Skill ceiling at tanky spots is average to above average. Ironically, these are the spots where she performs well due to good DPS and minimized weaknesses. It's sad. Holy crap, that's half of it. I don't have this much fucking text in my entire first unit of biology. I'm not joking. I think you could combine all the text in my first 3 unit slideshows, which is like 450 slides, and not have this much text. It's time to recharge. Again, I'm going to read the text that's underneath the stuff. Just got into BDO 61 Musa, Hash, and Corsair. Which one of these classes is the best for PvE? I play Succession on all 3. Honestly, if you want low APM, Nala, you're going to look at the Corsair. If you're on Succession, Succession Musa and Succession Hash are going to outperform the Corsair at the high-end spots, but it's going to require a lot more work. Hash is probably your best high-end grinder, okay? But low-end, you're probably going to do the best with the Corsair. I recommend looking at my choose class guides. This is the BDO night class. That's right. All right, let's do the rest of it. Too many Megu players, needs more nerfs. I agree. Nerf it again. Kendaya, she got nerfed because she was like the goddess of everything. My queen. Even after the nerf, there is no class that can compete with her at the mid-game stage. She is still S+ for mid-game. For endgame, she is around S- to S. Colon, close parentheses, period. Smiley face. So even after the nerf, she is still one of the best PvE classes in the game. Very easy to play and one of the best for newbie players. Awakening is not newbie friendly and needs utility changes to damage. Okay, those are all fair statements. When in doubt, nerf Megu. I agree. Wusa is way too strong. Let's nerf Megu again. Yami Monarch says, I play Suck mostly at endgame spots. That's because you're smart. After nerfs, she looks like a low S tier. Nerf hit her, but not kill her. At Gyfin, she is still very strong. 14k. Mostly because she have very good AoE and can annihilate mini Gyfins with Despair is active. At Hex, nerf hit her hardly. At Hex, the nerf hit her hard. But still is a good at this spot. Oh my god. With Frenzy Draw, I can make 21k an hour, and Olin's demands a lot of focus from you because you can easily kill the Golem with her AoE, but in my opinion, she is still Groot at this spot. I am Groot. I grind Olin's with friends, community. Don't like Megu at this spot. At mid-game spots, she's kind of OP in my opinion. Every Serendia Elvia spot is soft like butter. But her kit, I make above average trash at every Elvia Serendia spot. Oh, God, this is like I'm doing gymnastics. Low Sakraya and Thornwood feels like Elvia above. Without extended rotations, she ever clear mains. She ever clears main rotation. At low start spots, oh god, she have little problem with movement and stamina. One of her biggest plus, she is kind of unkill. One of her biggest positives is that she's unkillable in PvE when you use an elixir rotation, as long as the mobs don't one-shot you. Her combo is very easy to learn, and she is very newbie friendly. Awakening is more hard to play than Succession. To effectively grind most endgame spots, you will need crit damage passive. You need to perfectly loop her combo to not break it. At Gyfins and Olins, I make average trash at Awakening. I'm done. Oh my god. Is this what the scribes that translated the Bible felt like? That was tough. That was tough. Holy shit. Alright, just move. I don't even know if I have comments. I agree with the numbers. Oh, thank God there's the tier. Oh, thank God. There's no more text. It's over. It's done. It's over. I made it. I made it. Alright, I read it for all of you. You're all welcome. Alright. S plus, Suck Zerker, Awakening Tamer, Awakening Valkyrie. Wait, there is no importance of being first or last. Okay, that's a cop-out. I had to add one more S tier line because the 4 was not enough in the second line to show the same performance. So, this tier list is S plus, S, S, S minus, A plus, A, B, and dog shit. Okay. I don't like tier lists like this just because there's just too many S tiers. You just need to say, okay, yeah, this class is just not as, it's very clear. Very clear. Meiwa S. Why so many S? Because then you can't piss anyone off. All right, let's just look at the low ones. Suck Valkyrie, agree. Suck Striker, what the fuck? Is this the... Oh, this is the early game one. Oh, it's the early... Guys. It's the early game one. This is the early game one. All right. Yeah, all right. This makes sense now. All right. Yeah, Suck Striker can stay in the garbage. There we go. Sorceress, sure. Why is Awakening Sork so much higher? I don't understand. I feel like Suck DK is way better at early game spots than this. Suck DK should be way higher up this list. The rest of these are pretty solidly positioned here, I suppose. I mean, it's tough to tell you, like, Awakening Ranger, well, it's supposed to be S tier. Well, technically it is. Like, everything's in the fucking S tier. You know, it's tough to contest the tier list when everything is S tier. He's got me. I do think that Suck DK is out of place. I think that Awakening Guardian is probably fine. Suck Nova is in its rightful position at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the C tier. Oh. I was like, oh, this is a big long segment of the video. Never mind. It's just. Never mind. All right. This is the mid game one. This is the mid game one. I'll move you guys down now. It's the mid game one. I think Awakening Witch is okay. Yeah, it's S tier. I don't even know. Everything is S tier. Nothing is bad in the mid game. I don't even. Okay, I guess. Sure. Yeah, I mean, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. Mid-tier BDO is like, every class is good in mid-tier, although Succession, Witch, and Wizard should probably be like lower. Okay, it's just odd. Yeah. This is the most replayed. This is the high end. This is the end game tier list right here. This is what it is. Suck Wusa. Why in the fuck is Sork so high up the end game tier list? What is that? Oh, wait, I forgot. They're in no particular order. Everyone's just in the S tier. So, like, Awakening Mystic could be better than Awakening Sork. He just doesn't have them in any particular order. I miss your soft scalp already. How's the Zerker not S on this list? He is S. What are you talking about? He's right there. He's in the S tier with the other 48 specs that we have in the S tier. Half the classes in the game are S tier. Yeah, that's what we've learned. The only class that is literal dog shit apparently is Suck Draconia, which honestly is not a bad... That's not a bad statement. Where's Suck Witch? Oh, Suck Witch. Okay, yeah, so honestly, this is fine. This is fine. I would say that they're B tier. Witch is just a little bit better than Wizard is. Awakening Valk, I think, should be higher. I think Suck Valk is fine, probably where it is. Mystic Suck, sure. I think Awakening Ranger, I don't know, bro. It's A+ tier, man. Like, they're all S tier, but there's actually just no shot, man. Like, I don't fucking know. Everything's an S tier. Everything's just good, guys. That's the takeaway here. Oh, fuck. Like, what? I know, technically it's S-. Like, I don't know what the fuck the difference is. Except Suck Drac. Yeah, they're garbage. Where's Suck Nova? Somehow Suck Nova didn't make it into the garbage tier. C for crap. No. Oh, here's the Black Shrine tier list. So this is your, oh. Okay. Okay, I actually don't really disagree with that. I actually think that Awakening Witch, because she's such a frontal guarded class and she's got iframes all over the place, she's got Red Orb, right? It's like so fucking good. It's so easy to do your boss blitz. Blue, how good are you at boss blitz? I've done it twice. Yeah. It's just not for me. I don't know what to tell you. I did establish very quickly, though, that it was really good for Awakening Witch. I was like, oh, this is kind of a joke. Have you cleared Calamity 7? Me? No. Most Awakening Witches? Yes. Awakening Witch is typically the first ones to clear the hardest Calamity levels. It's one of the very first ones to clear those high Calamity levels because it is so safe. Because it has Red Orb, iframes all over the place. You don't have to worry about stamina management. And you've got frontal guards forever. Whenever you need frontal guards, you've got frontal guards. You've got range. You've got AoE. You've got protection. Like, it's just super good. It's super good. So I actually agree with that. Shy. Sure. Succession Wusa. Sure. Okay. Yep. Okay, again, we have S, like, we have, everything is in the S tier, so, like, why is Wusa Awakening in the C tier? Which is too strong, nerf Megu. Agree. You know how we move Megu down this tier list? Or you know how we move Wusa down this tier list? We nerf the Megu. I don't know why Awakening Megu is, or Awakening Wusa is so far down here. Why is Awakening Guardian not in the top then? Just asking. Because Awakening Guardian has to actually trade really long, like long cast animations with Awakening Guardian. I mean, it has some cancels to get out of it and some decent iframes. But the problem is you have long cast animations. So if it's going to wipe you, it's just like, ah! And then you're dead. Which is just like, I can just hop back and forth forever.
So we getting your PvE tier list.
This is... When are we getting my PvE tier? I don't think I could actually make anything more. I can't do any more reading today. I am honestly hooked on phonics. Did not prepare me well enough for the amount of fucking reading that I had to do here. I didn't have a high enough reading level in fucking middle school to actually get through this tier list. It wasn't fair that I had to read all of it. Yeah, the rest of these are fine. I'm not really sure how they necessarily perform. I would have to look at how quickly they're clearing the calamity levels compared to each other, right? Like, and how, like, and by quickly, I mean, like, who's clearing them sooner? So no Node War today? Oh, we had Node War. We just got absolutely farmed off. But yeah, guys, here's the video again. This is Kandaya's tier list. This is actually a tier list done by a professional. I will say that, like, all right, there's too much reading. You got to read stuff to people. Otherwise, like, yeah, it's a little rough. You know what I mean? Yeah, my only negative feedback about that, like, honestly, I have positive feedback. I love the way that he went about it. The information was generally, like, good. It was just like, dude, some of these are like, look how much text is on the screen here. You know what I mean? Like, look how much text, like, it's just too much text. You know what I mean? So go give it a like, interact with the video. Are his thumbnails like that? Oh, yeah, his thumbnails are like that, too. Less text. When I'm scrolling through my YouTube stuff, I don't click on stuff when it has too much text, too much reading. Too much reading. That's my advice.